I avoid you. I wish I could erase you. Truthfully, I don't do well with confrontation. I don't like being in situations I can't control. Yet, my mind wants to take a stroll and replay you like rerun shows, fucking up my law in order to my structure. We be congruent, yet I'm the special victim of your unit. I wish we were something like Martin, the Fresh Prince, but I can't seem to shake you. This distance becomes scarce. Here you are, knocking me down these stairs that I climb because you just remind me of who I shouldn't be. I'm held captive, crippled, this misery, trapped in your eyes, the mirror to my demise. I'm sitting here, questioning, wondering why you are manipulating me or preying on my generosity when it's clear that you don't want me free, just to see if there's a leash bound to me. And the irony, I don't want to be free. Sending me back 180 degrees to the version of me I thought I escaped. But if X equals elevation, then why do you result as the outcome? You see, I was never really good at math. It was hard for me to fathom, but you be playing these mind games. The perfect villain, my red dragon. And I hate seeing the good in you because that's how this happens. I open the door, hoping there's more. You coast as if nothing happens and toss me ashore overboard, then treat me like I'm disposable, leaving me pissed to the core while you're entertained because life is a bore. And I hate that you bore a hole on my soul, leaving me to question. Did I grow? Have I been loving me and valuing my energy? See, you're the variable I need to overcome. The reason I have my one-on-ones doing my runs because I can't run any faster away from you because if I run into you and shatter you, is that 7 years of bad luck? Be it the way, I'm fucked. As you pluck and pluck and pluck, he loves me not. He loves me not. The cycle that never stops, my emotions, your favorite prop, and I run to the fire, ain't no strap, drop, and roll, and I'm drained. I'm so drained from this hold. And behold, your prized possession, and I never learned the lesson of you. I don't know what it is, but your comeback and game is so impressive. But how can you look in the mirror and configure a good man when my heart is a part of your floor plan? You plan to throw it on the floor, wipe your shoes, improve your moves on turning genuine women to bitter fools. But I gotta be stiller and find my new groove. See, I can't hold on to the version of you that I mistakenly drew. Because at first, it was a happy accident. But now, this shit is a confusing tragic, and you don't even feel this. You be in shock, this static electricity. But then again, I allow you to do this to me. And I take full accountability. I gladly grab those scissors and cut the strings to this puppetry. I'm done. I choose me. I miss you, but I miss me.
Yo, that piece right there, that was fire, man. Go ahead, comment down below your favorite line from that piece. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit the bell notification so you can be notified when there's more episodes of The Spotlight coming up. Now back to the show.
This is Chris Fontaine.
I'm Talor'd Tales.
I'm the great conductor.
What's going on, y'all? It's Gates the Goat.
You're watching the Spotlight Poetry on Cluster TV.
Cluster TV. Cluster with a K.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to The Spotlight, episode 30. I'm so glad you guys decided to join us today. We have an excellent episode here for you guys. And my guest today, if you remember episode 1 of The Spotlight way back in January of 2025, I was not the first person that was seen on the screen. It was my guest today, and that is Talor'd Tales. Hello, Taylor.
Boateng, how are you?
Yes, I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I am doing amazing. Thank you again for bringing me back. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I love what you're doing for the community. Thank you. It's a blessing to be on this platform.
Wow, yeah, I really do appreciate that. And I appreciate you blessing the mic. That opening piece was fire.
Thank you.
Yeah, and honestly, your poems, like, people may not know this about you, but a lot of your poetry is inspired by things like battle rap, things like comic books, cartoons, and anime as well. What about those things? What about those worlds, teach you about storytelling that you bring to your poetry?
Well, I believe that art is supposed to be raw and authentic. And one of my mentors taught me to pull from every single part of yourself, different nuances. Don't limit yourself. And there are different avenues of ourselves that tell a story. What we watch, what we intake, it is a piece of us. And not only are we vulnerable in our pieces, but we allow others to see different levels of us because of those references. And it creates the ability for us to find our people as well and connect with others. But I love me some battle rap. Love me some battle rap and some anime. I really do. Oh my God.
Yeah, the interesting thing about battle rap is the big factors that play into a great battle rapper are people who have, a lot of layered, words when it comes to their lines.
Yes.
People whose performance is excellent as well. They know how to use very good crowd control. And, I feel like that really does, incorporate a lot into your poetry. How would you say that battle rap really inspires you and how you perform spoken word?
I would say battle rap is one of my first. I can't talk about battle rap without thanking my mentor. Shout out to Accurate the Wise. He put me on to battle rap, and I never understood. At first, he was like, "It's poetry. That's a good study tool." And when I went on my journey, I studied. Briz Rothstein was the first battle rapper I studied. And the way that they set up their punchlines, it's the cadence, it's the creativity, it's the references and how they do wordplay. Oh my goodness. That's why Charlie Clips is my favorite. People don't like that he freestyles, but if you just really pay attention and listen to how they break down words and to be able to weave that word into it's almost like you're doing surgery with words.
Be surgical with it.
Yes, you're doing surgery with words, but you're making it fit to your scheme. And it's like, oh my God. Like, so there was a recent battle rap that happened in North Carolina, and I was blessed with the opportunity to go. And I was catching every single line, every bar that was given. And I'm leading into breaking down the words because people didn't catch it. But if you'll catch me on camera, he'll turn back and be like, "Hey, chill, you catching everything." But he was basically saying how this setup is about to be sad, right?
Yeah.
And then he was saying mortifying, but how he broke it down, he said more defying. And it was how he eased that word and he just said it so slowly. And it's like, y'all not even listening. Do you hear the setup he did? And he just slowed down with more defying. And yeah, I can talk about battle rap all day, so don't get me started.
Well, I love how you really broke it down like that because, with you being known as an erotic poet, a lot of people focus a lot on the subject matter of what you write and maybe not necessarily focusing on the real craftsmanship that go into your poetry. Are there things like intentional details that you put in there that you would hope that better writers are able to catch?
Yes. So writing erotic poetry is a challenge. It's not easy. A lot of people think that, oh, it's just shock value and that nature. But I always see it as anyone can just get on stage and they can just say triggering words for a nasty piece. Like, they could say like, oh, dick or something like that, or pussy. It's like, okay, you're recycling the same words. Make it creative. Okay, you want to say pussy. Why not vertical smile? Something like that. Why not make it into the piece that you first met me on? You are the prime example of what I want audience to pick up. Yes, it is very explicit, but you understand what I'm saying through the context. through the metaphors I'm using,
Yes.
because you don't just want to limit yourself, you know?
Yeah, and I think that piece you were referencing is brunch. Because I I distinctly remember before I heard that piece, I really didn't rock with erotic poetry
Mhm.
like that. It was really a lot of what you're saying. A lot of people talking about doing the thing. And hey, I like doing the thing as much as anyone else too. But if you're gonna spit about it, let's be a bit more creative. So she had a piece called Brunch, and she compared having sex to all these type of foods, and it was one of the funniest, most creative pieces I ever heard. So I definitely do appreciate you for actually opening up that side of me that actually can appreciate erotic poetry for its poetry and the craftsmanship as well.
Yeah.
And I'm not the only one who's appreciated it. In fact, last year you won the National Best Erotic Spoken Word Artist Award.
I did.
Yes,
I did. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I did.
Yes. So what does that recognition mean to you besides just the title itself?
I am very honored. It is definitely, it's a breath of fresh air to see or have an item that's tangible that reflects your hard work that you do.
Mm-hmm.
And I am the type of person who, I appreciate all of my accolades. However, my accolades result in more challenge. It's like, okay, I got this. What's next?
Mm-hmm.
What else can I achieve? And I do want to make a point on what you just said with the brunch piece. It is challenging with eroticism, and it's also not hard. So the creativity level is where you can compare it to is when you have sex, do you want it to be boring?
No.
Basic, plain?
Mm-hmm.
You like it to be different, creative, spontaneous. So that's the way you approach it with writing it. How creative can I get? How nasty can I get with these words?
Yeah, and how poetic can you get with it too?
Okay.
Like what devices can you throw in there to add not just to the nastiness but to the poetry?
Okay.
Exactly.
Making love with these words.
Yeah, there we go. Well, before you got into erotic, you actually spoken in the past about how, you found writing in one of the darkest seasons of your life. What did writing do for you at that moment looking back that, nothing else could for you?
The way I always describe it is a pen and a paper became my best friends, and poetry became my therapy. When there's no one that's listening to you, the raw you, or when you are trying to be vulnerable, growing up in our kind of household, it's like, toughen up. You'll get through it. It's way worse situations going on.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, as an adult, you've already experienced where I've been. This is my first time in life. And so it becomes hard when you don't have anyone to talk to or vent to. And then when you're going to therapy, you realize that sometimes, and it's important to find the right therapist, sometimes therapists are so busy focusing on the textbook work, trying to diagnose you, that they're missing what you're trying to say to them.
Mm-hmm.
And when I just started writing, I was able to face myself. I couldn't run for who I am. I had to see me for who I am, and I had to accept and love me. And I will always be grateful for poetry for that.
Yeah, now, clap it up for that. And, there was a moment where you decided that you didn't want to just lean so much into the trauma of it when it came to your poetry.
Yeah.
When was it that you decided that poetry wasn't just therapy for you, but it was actually your purpose in life?
So I changed it because I was reading a piece and I just was like, damn, girl, ain't these people gonna be like, she still sad? You ain't happy yet? So I'm like, well, I am actually happy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, if I keep, and I do say this in the piece, if I keep picking at scabs, I'm going to reopen the wounds.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, well, let me transition. And I believe it was when I wanted to start initially writing custom erotic stories for people.
Mhm.
I wanted to do that.
When was this?
I would say this was like December of 2019. And I remember specifically because it was like when COVID started happening.
Yeah.
And I was always comfortable with, talking about sex, researching sex. And I've always been so cold at imagery. I just always had the talent for it. And when I started writing custom erotic stories for people, I said, wait a minute. What if I shorten this? What if I just did poems so people can actually see, dang, I feel like I'm in the room. I feel I can visualize everything. I can feel everything that's going on. And that was more or less like my resume.
Yeah.
My resume for you to book me to write your story.
Mm-hmm.
And that led me to Nova Kane. That led me to Nova Kane with erotic poetry.
So how'd you find you?
How'd I find her?
Yeah.
I went onto YouTube one day and I just typed in erotic poetry, literally erotic poetry. Because originally I was trying to see, are there any slams for erotic poetry? And then Nova the Nymph came across my screen. And the way that she just owned the stage and she had her personality in it and she was funny as well. And the audience loved her. I had to meet her. And I just studied her and she really helped me on the stage. She helped me become more confident as well. So
yeah, I saw her live in the last Tiffany's Playground. She is awesome.
Amazing.
Yes.
Oh my God. Every time. Do you remember the line she said that had me just taken back? Like, I wish I wrote that. Do you remember the line?
What was the line?
She said, I'll call you now if I mess this up, Nova. But when she said, I call you daddy because I want to live in your balls, I said, why didn't I come up with that line? What?
Oh, I get it now.
I was like, why didn't I write that?
Well, yeah. Well, speaking of, the events, because like I said, I saw her at Tiffany's Playground and, mainly people know you for that show and Tiffany's Playhouse as well, which is coming on a 4-year anniversary, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Oh, wow, it is. February of next year will be 4 years. That is crazy.
Yes, but before you even started Tiffany's Playhouse, you actually curated shows not live, but virtually. Can you go into that experience curating shows virtually? What was that?
So, oh man. I just had a moment where I really just appreciated me. We're hard on ourselves and we're always so thinking about the future, but we don't give ourselves enough credit of where we've been and where we are now. And I did start on Facebook Live. I started on Facebook Live and I would read the custom stories that I wrote, but I never wrote, for confidentiality reasons. I didn't expose the names in the stories. I changed them up. And I would go on Facebook Live and I always told them, make sure you send the wine emoji. Let me know you're ready. And they would send the wine emojis and I would do it. And I would set up my background because I didn't have like a backdrop or a step and repeat. I literally just took a blanket that had a nice image on it and I put the push pins on it on the wall. Then I take these lights, these like rope lights, the Christmas lights, and let them hang. And then I had some greenery that I would put around it. And then I just go live and then I just start reading the stories and I'll get comfortable and ask the audience questions. And I just really, wow, that was a time. I have grown so much.
Yeah, you were pretty big on Clubhouse. Isn't that correct?
Oh my God. Clubhouse. Shout out to Clubhouse because I have so many formed relationships because of Clubhouse. Clubhouse is a reason why I'm here in Atlanta as well. That's where I met B-Rock. That's where I met Ambitious Grudge. That's where I met Lady Siren. That's where I met Nick Austin. I met a lot of people there, and we would be on there to like 4 in the morning.
Mhm.
I had every Friday night, I had Tailored Erotica night.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, 4 in the morning, that's too late and too early. I'm not gonna lie.
Listen, it was, I love it because they would be in my room, Tailored Erotic Poetry Night, and they just want to hear more, just more erotic stories, more erotic poetry. And it's like, y'all, it's 4 in the morning. Like, I gotta go to sleep at some time. But it was a great experience. I met a lot of people on there, and I'm glad because it really did lead me down here. B-Rock had his poetic moan room on there. He had the
Mm.
moan room on there, and he had me be one of the moderators. And when I saw him bring the moan room to life down here, that was inspiring too.
Yes. Is that what inspired you to bring Tiffany's Playhouse to life?
I would say it was a factor.
Mhm.
It was a factor. When I used to visit here, I would come here once a month. And before I came here, I would DM events, venues. I would go on Eventbrite and see what poetry event is happening when I'm there. And I would message them and say, hey, I'm going to be here on this day. Do you have an event? And I would, DoorDash is different here. I would never DoorDash here. It literally, for me, you DoorDash, you make the money to put back into the gas you use. But in St. Louis, I would get off work 5 o'clock. I would DoorDash to 7.
Mhm.
I only did that for 2 or 3 days, and I would buy my round trip ticket to Atlanta.
Wow.
I would always do that. And that's when I just felt the universe screaming at me. You're supposed to be here. This is where you're supposed to be. What are you doing? Why aren't you here yet? You're still not here yet. So
And now you've been here, you've really planted roots here. And as I mentioned earlier, your shows, Tiffany's Playhouse and Playground, they become a real staple in the poetry community, for erotic poetry and erotic experiences as well. But you also make it a point to make sure that it's a safe space for people to be able to present themselves and show themselves in the most honest and truest way without any judgment.
yeah.
What has that taught you about building community, and why is that so important for you?
I am a firm believer in be yourself. And that is actually the most challenging task for a lot of people, is to be themselves. But you have to look yourself in the mirror at the end of the day. You have to deal with yourself at the end of the day. And why not provide a platform or provide a safe space for like-minded individuals? Because you also don't know what people are going through.
Mm-hmm.
You never know that they had a terrible, shitty week. But your event, your act of kindness is what changed their perspective. They may have felt that their beliefs were deviant, their urges were deviant, but when they found people who were similar to them, you just never know how you can save others with your gift. Your gift is not for you. Your gift is for other people.
That's right. And you, like I said earlier, you were the very first person on the first episode of the Spotlight. And that was 18 months to the day, January 30th, 2025. And I must say, we have evolved quite a lot since then. 30 episodes in now, we've definitely come a long way. But you have also came a long way as well. And, how would you compare yourself now versus the person and the poet you were 18 months ago?
I will say then versus now. I've been, how can I say this? Then versus now, I've always been unapologetically me and confident. I think where the shift happened is I understood that could kind of rub people wrong. you know, you expose people's insecurities because a lot of times when people don't have what you have, it exposes that inner, I don't want to say inner hate, but that dislike for themselves that they have because you have something they want. And I used to be mindful around that. Now, I simply do not have the capacity to walk around life on eggshells. I deserve to take up space. And if my confidence, me walking in who I am, upsets someone else, that is a them problem. That has nothing to do with me. And I forgive myself for taking on that kind of that's a burden. For me, that's a burden. Because that's exhausting. That's exhausting. That's pretty much thinking for others as well. And I forgive myself for that. And I just keep not fall, because my therapist says you don't want to fall, but I keep ascending in love with myself. And I can't explain it. It's one of the best feelings. It's one of the best feelings in the world. It's like a breath of fresh air.
Wow. Yeah, that's beautiful. Well, it's been great talking with you today. Before you do your last piece, go ahead and let the people know where they can find you and keep up with you and what you got coming up next.
I am Talor'd Tales, aka Tiffany. If you know Tiffany, then you're a little nasty, and that's okay. That's okay. We like nasty. You can find me on Instagram at Talor'd_Tales_ That's TALORD. Don't put a Y in my name, because why are you doing that? _Tales, TALES_ We have Tiffany's Playhouse coming up September 25th. Yeah, I don't want to miss it. The lineup is amazing per usual. What happens in the Playhouse stays in the Playhouse. And yeah, you're gonna be hearing a lot of more of Talor'd Tales versus Tiffany now. So
Ooh, I can't wait for that. Yeah, as much as I like Tiffany and appreciate your erotic poetry, Taylor, your non-erotic poems, that's always been my jam as well. But I'm gonna give a couple shout outs myself. Firstly, want to shout out I'm Wit Media. He's been the videographer and creative director of the Spotlight since season 1, episode 1. So want to give him a good shout out there. Yes, if you guys have any creative projects that you would like to see come to life, make sure you tap in with I'm Wit Media. I would also like to give a shout out to Fawn Moore Photography. He's been taking photos since season 1 as well. Yes, he has taken some excellent photos of me, photos that I use on my LinkedIn and resume, and he's taken photos for a lot of different performers and a lot of different mediums as well, outside of just performance. So definitely tap in with Fawn Moore Photography if you want to see your photos come to life as well. But without further ado, do you want to preview your last piece, or you want to just hop right into it?
I actually want to shout you out. Is that okay?
Oh yeah, go ahead, shout me out. Yeah.
I want to shout Jerome Boateng out, because it is hard finding people whose words align with their actions. And you are an incredible person and a great friend. You always show up. When I have an event, you always show up. And you really do. Now I know I be in my work mode and I be a little, but you make it so much easier. You really make my shows run smoothly. You arrive early too. Yes. The moment I realized you were so dedicated was people have vehicles and they be making excuses. People, they always be driving everywhere. But when you beat me to set up, and not only that, you stopped and you brought the ice. And I was thinking, oh, you got dropped off? No, I took the bus. And I'm like, this man went to the store, got ice for the bar, and got on the bus and brought this. I don't think you understand what that did to me. And I will forever be grateful for you. I really believe that the universe sent you to me. And I'm grateful for you. Like, sometimes when we feel like we don't deserve love or we're not worthy of love, here comes the universe telling us, shut up. Here, you are worthy. And you are a prime example of that.
That's beautiful. I really appreciate that, Taylor. Thank you so much.
Of course.
And thank you for being a part of the spotlight once more.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to hear your last piece. Do you have any preview? Do you want a recommendation?
I will say, if you heard the context of the first piece, but this piece is my baby. It really shows how much I've grown and evolved. And yeah, it's my baby.
Okay, well, I can't wait to hear your baby. So go ahead, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Talor'd Tales, and she is about to perform her last piece.
I am. Oh, and I'm not a singer, but we're going to do this, okay? Okay.
I am the conductor.
I found a spot to get my glory until she divorced me. Not just my ex-wife, shit, they all left me. Even I divorced myself from myself. Cause out of my brokenness, I kept picking up brokenness, squeezing it tight until it sliced open my chest. Ah!
And you are watching the Spotlight on Cluster TV.
You should know that you're just a temporary fix. This is not rooted with you. It don't mean that much to me. You're just a filler in the space that happens to be free. How dare you think you get away with trying to play me? To the fuck nigga who got me fucked up. You was just a chapter in my novel. I'm Talor'd Tales. I don't give a fuck about you short story ass niggas. Thank you for showing me you ain't shit, allowing me to see that I am the shit. You took advantage of the soft me, but I had to get bolder. Cause what the fuck is a pebble to a boulder? Small door closed to welcome my blessings. I refuse to waste my gifts on you. Rather, I release and learn my lesson. No, this poem isn't to bash trash ass niggas. Though, I'd be glad to bag these niggas. This is an apology for not protecting me. Mistaking red flags for Six Flags cause I'm Daredevil. Diving into riddles, bending my mind, moving too fast, thrown through loops, normalizing manipulation, because that's the closest form of communication I had with my parents. And apparently I found comfortability in that toxicity, allowing folks to be blatant and disrespect me. You see, I say trash ass niggas. But what were the trashy parts of me that allowed me to collect their waste and waste my time? I dealt myself a shitty hand, shuffling back like it's 16 all over again, constantly fighting to defend these boundaries and standards. This yellow skin turned red from draw tools on my character. Reverse conflict back to me like I'm green. Just stacking and stacking till I sing blues. Nah, new game house rules. Skip the bullshit. Draw four. Horseman gone wild. Card in my favor. You acting like I ain't the one. So Uno out. With survival tactics of traumatic habits of hiding a man to seek validation of an absent mother, who the fuck do I think I am? Allowing these patterns to belittle myself like I'm not great, and the universe continues to confirm this. Now I'm acting like a fuck nigga who got me fucked up. Law of attraction. They say a hit dog gon' holler, so I guess I'm bitching. Cause why the fuck would I put myself in this position? Like I don't work hard and be consistent. Pursuing my passions, achieving my goals, I am my wildest dream. Walking so confidently and bold, a warrior slaying dragons and control her demons. On an infinite journey with harsh losses and painful earnings, this bizarre adventure with JoJo's words, and I stand effortlessly. I'm a celestial goddess. You can call me Star Platinum, cause Zeraldo is mine. And if you don't know, that's anime. And I made just combust from fire and force through tongue. I picked up the pieces when there were none, paid bills with no funds, made meals with no groceries, saved myself through poetry, wielding these gifts my divine sorcery, and I have the audacity to feed these distractions. I'm acting like I didn't pick up and move and make shit happen. So peep my game. I'ma clock it. I clocked at 9 to 5, then I'm hosting, curating, spitting, network at 9 to 5, thugging in these poetry streets. I don't got time for it on the line. I'm slowing my process down to rush their growth. I'm a whole angel number. Never again will I reduce myself to a fraction. I need that reciprocity. I can't play about me. I'm feeding life into my destiny, inspired by adversity. I'm so damn empowering. 2016 me would have never thought that this could be. So again, I owe me an apology for confusing myself with who I was, with who the fuck I am. So to the fuck nigga who got me fucked up, thank you for the reminder. You should know that you're just a temporary fix. This is not rooted with you. It don't mean that much to me. You're just a filler in the space that happens to be free. How dare you think you get away with trying to play me?
Wow. And she says she can't sing. How about that? Did y'all hear that?
In the shower, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
In the shower, yes.
Well, yes. Well, that shower practice has definitely been working. But thank you so much once again, Taylor, for coming on the spotlight. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're watching from Cluster, thank you so much for checking in. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment your favorite part of the show. We will be back next Thursday with another edition of The Spotlight. Hope you guys have a great one. Peace.
Ha ha ha, bless your soul. You really think you're in control? I want people to feel like they're not alone. I try not to put myself in a box, but I do feel like I'm kind of a bit of a trauma poet. I love writing trauma pieces, but I really do that because I've sat alone in the corner thinking that no one understands, no one is going to get it. But there's so many people who just need somebody else to say it. But they insist on my silence, reminding me that no one wants to hear what I have to say. See, I'm a know-it-all who has all the answers. A trauma bonder, professional victim. Child, prescribed pills keep my mental state stable. Honey, I'm crazy. I think the biggest thing for me is in Chicago, I was trying to be somebody else. And in Atlanta, I learned to be myself. In Chicago, I was trying to be somebody else to be accepted. But in Atlanta, I learned that to be accepted, just to be yourself. Depression highlights how I like the same kind of paths, and panic just beats to the drums of doom. Anxiety just looks at my plans and laughs. Ha ha ha, bless your soul. You really think you're in control?
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of The Spotlight. If you would like to catch up on the back catalog, here is a playlist for you somewhere on the screen. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video with somebody else. And tune in next time for our next episode.